After a scintillating victory versus Man United in our last fixture that ended 4-3, Chelsea have the opportunity to stake our claim to European football next season as we take on Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Lads, lasses and the rest of the masses, welcome to the lead-in. Let's set the scene here. It's Chelsea versus Sheffield United, 9th in the Premier League versus 20th. After narrowly beating Man U last time out, we now have the chance to get closer to those coveted European spots with another 3 points here, which with no disrespect to the Blades should be a guaranteed thing. We have a game or multiple games in hand over the teams above us, and a victory here would see us go up to 46 points, staying in 9th place but being 2 points adrift of top 6. We have been gifted a golden opportunity to make this terrible season worth something, so let's take it. So we need to get past Sheffield United first in order to do that, a team that has been quite frankly the worst team in the league all season. They sit rock bottom of the table and only have 3 wins in 30 games, losing 21 times, the worst record of any team in the division. It doesn't get any better when looking at goal difference either. They have the least goals scored and the most goals conceded, shipping a whopping 80 goals so far. Form-wise, they do have a couple of draws in their last 5, with 3 losses in there as well. However, in football, nothing is guaranteed, and like in boxing, every team has a puncher's chance, especially with how we've gifted wins to lesser teams so far this season. So, let's take a look at the potential Sheffield United team and see what they could be bringing to the table. Firstly, let's talk absentees. The Blades have a lot of players in the medical room with Daniel Jebison, Chris Basham, Ryan Brewster, Tom Davies, George Baldock, John Egan, Reece Norrington-Davis and Max Lowe, all nursing problems at the moment. Cameron Archer has been injured but may be fit enough to be involved here once again, and Gustavo Harmer should recover from his knock to play here too. I'll be putting Chris Wilder's side into his standard 3-5-2 formation for this fixture, with the team heavily rotated because of the above injuries. First up in goal though is going to be their January signing Ivo Grbic. The Croatian will be hoping to not make a blunder like he did in the last game versus Liverpool. The defence is going to be the exact same back 3 that started versus the Reds in that game, with Mason Holgate on the right, captain Arnel Ahmedhodzic in the centre, and finally over on the left will be Jack Robinson. Moving into the midfield, we'll start on the right side. The right wing back for this game will be Jayden Bogle, as is usually the case. The 3 centre mids won't change from that 3-1 defeat either, with Vinicius Souza, Oliver Arblaster and the aforementioned Gustavo Harmer all lining up in the middle. And finally, over in the left wing back role will be Austin Trusty. Though this could be Ben Osborne, I think that they'll stick to the same back 5 that they used last time. That leaves the 2 men up top, and I reckon there'll be a change here. Ben Brereton-Diaz starts once more, but alongside him I expect Ollie McBurney to slot in, with the big Scot hopefully not causing our backline too many issues. As I said, just a brief overview of what I expect their team to look like. There could be more rotation in the side considering how poor they were last time out, but I don't expect too much to happen in truth. Now let's quickly take a look at how Chelsea could line up. We still have a lot of absentees with a lot of first teamers still out, but returns for a few injured players may see us change things around a little. I think that we'll continue to use the 4-2-3-1 as ever, with a pretty standard lineup being deployed for what should be a routine win for the Blues. As ever, I'll be showing what I expect from Poch, then suggest changes that I personally would like to see. Starting with the goalkeeper, I'm going to be putting in Georgia Petrovic as ever. Sanchez is still injured, so there's no reason for Petro to be dropped from the lineup. The back 4 is going to be unchanged from the United game. Malo Gusto keeps his place at right back despite injury worries ahead of the last match, and will be looking to lock down that right side. The centre-back partnership next to him will be fellow French teammates Axel Disasi and Benoit Badiashile. Though neither particularly had great games versus United, with injuries to others in the squad I don't expect Poch to rotate anything here. Likewise with the left back, it's going to be Marc Cucurella. Chilwell's official reason for being out of the squad is illness, so we'll have to see if he's well enough to play, but I'd expect Cucu to start after he was rather impressive against the Red Devils. Moving into the middle, we'll start with the holding roles. This isn't changing, and the ever-impressive duo of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo start once more. I don't expect either to be dropped, even in the wake of Caicedo's error for United's first goal, so no changes here. Ahead of them in the attacking midfield roles, let's start on the right. It's going to once again be, everyone say it with me, Cole Palmer. Of course it is. After his 2 late goals and hat-trick helped us to sneak past United, there's no way Cole isn't the first name on the team sheet. Next to him, in the 10, I'm going to be putting in Conor Gallagher. Despite his poor performance in the last game, I don't expect Poch to drop him ever, so the energetic midfielder starts once again. Now, finishing off the 3, I'll be putting Mudryk in once again on the left. His interplay with Cucurella is what gets us our first goal, and overall he put in a decent performance, so I have no reason to drop him. Up top will of course be Nicholas Jackson. He's not really been getting involved in these last few games due to poor service, so I hope he can reignite that spark in this game and pad his stats versus a lesser team. This is what I'm expecting, but what would I personally change? Let's start with the back line. There's no way I'm allowing this centre-back partnership to happen again. Despite how good they were at Monaco together, Poch hasn't been able to get the same result with these two at Chelsea, and so I'm putting in Trevor Chalobah instead of Badiashile, who I think was the lesser of the two centre-backs in the last match. Moving into midfield, let's take a look at the attacking line. Personally, I don't think Gallagher is good enough on the ball to be playing in the 10, so I'd rather see Mudryk or Palmer play there. I also want to see Madueke get rewarded for his efforts off of the bench in the 4-3 victory, his 2 runs allowing us to get back into the game, and so I'd love to see him get a start on the right wing, with Palmer moving centrally. Carney Chukwuemeka returned from injury last time out, which was great to see, so hopefully he gets some extended minutes off of the bench too. I don't expect him to start considering how frequently he's been getting re-injured, though he's a shoo-in for the 10 if he does start. It would be nice to see some more rotation/youth involvement too, in truth. I think Cassidy, Gilchrist and Washington should be getting cameos versus the worst team in the league, despite the importance of the game. So, those are my lineups and I'd like to hear from you guys too, so for today's question of the day, answer me this. Now we are so close to Europe, what place in the table do you see us realistically finishing, and why? Let me know in the comments down below with QOTD at the start as always, and I'll pin my favourite answer. Now, as I so often do, let's take a look at the reverse fixture between the two clubs and analyse why we were successful in that game. We won the first match pretty comfortably, a 2-0 victory that was pretty routine, 78% possession, over 800 passes with a 90% accuracy, and 15 shots to Sheffield United's 6. This was a bit of an odd game from Chelsea's perspective. We had 4 centre-backs on the pitch, no Malo Gusto, no Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher playing as a 6 and Cole Palmer playing centrally in the 10. Despite the disjointed backline, we managed to keep a clean sheet, and that was partly down to what I believe our biggest strength was in this game, our counter-press. The reason we had so much of the ball was that we were stepping on the gas at every opportunity, winning the ball back very quickly and hitting the blades on the break once we had it. Sheffield United could never get an extended period on the ball, and this not only gave us the platform to score our goals, but prevented them from making any inroads themselves. I was impressed by the way we went about creating chances. Instead of aimless lofted passes into the area like we often see from Chelsea, we created both of our goals through getting our creative players to the byline, then cutting the ball back for easy shots on goal. With the Blades likely to set up with 3 centre-backs in this game, I think trying to replicate this in this game would be the smart thing to do, as we're never going to be able to compete with them in the air. Likewise, we'll have to avoid giving away any silly free kicks or corners, because we have been dreadful at defending our box, especially aerially. Even though Sheffield United aren't the greatest team, they still pose a large threat from set pieces and will have to be switched on, mark our men, track our runners and clear our lines efficiently. Despite the level of our opposition, I think that we'll have to be at our best. We saw what happened versus Burnley. We cannot underestimate the team standing across from us. I think Sheffield United will take confidence from Burnley's performance, and if we don't score early, I think they'll grow into the game. We must start fast because we didn't last time out against them, and this time it could be costly if we don't. For a score prediction, I'm going to be predicting a pretty routine victory for Chelsea. I think the golfing class between the two sides will be too much for the Blades, but I still expect them to score with our shaky defence. I'm going to go for 3-1. Palmer, Mudryk and Jackson scoring for Chelsea, and Ben, Brereton, Diaz to score a worldie up the other end for United. We'll have to wait until the game to see if any of my predictions are correct, and as always, I'll be live streaming after the game to give my first reactions. This is my final video before I go on holiday, so the content coming up will be slightly different to my normal previews/reviews. Regardless, I hope you look forward to those. But if you can't wait until then, maybe watch one of these 2 videos on screen in the meantime. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues!